Hello, I'm Jeff, I'm a wizard, I do a horoscope, let's not talk about it. It's very simple, I will go over every sign, I will say some words and that will help you. You can find the timestamps for your sign or the signs you would like to listen to, because that can vary, in the description box and in the comment section. This message is not time sensitive, so it applies to you whenever you hear it. See how easy that works? Okay, great. First of all, a very important warning for everybody. A couple of days ago, I was swimming in the beach here and I was enjoying it, and I was like naming a list of all the things that are great about it. And I was saying there are no jellyfish. Well, yesterday I was walking at the beach and there was a different wind, there was a lot of wind, and there were a lot of jellyfish on the beach. So I was thinking, oh no, whatever I'm thinking about, whatever I name, really just appears. And my brain immediately went to Kraken. So if the Kraken comes, that's my fault and I'm sorry. I tried to change it to dolphins fast, but we'll see what happens. So there's possibly a Kraken. And then second of all, I thought of this parable, I hope I say that right, parable with Jesus, about Jesus, where there's a man and Jesus, or me and Jesus, walking on the beach. And I suddenly turn to Jeebus and I say, Jeebus, in the times of great difficulty and strife, I notice there is only one set of footprints in the sand. What's that about? Do you have avoidant personality disorder? Do you run away from your problems? Is there something you're hiding? And then Jesus said, you're at the beach, enjoy yourself. And it's like, okay, he has a point. I still feel like he's hiding something. So, that's another thing. And then the third thing I thought of was that things should come in lists of 3, right? It doesn't work to just say 2 things. Like the same with jokes. You need, there's a rule of 3 that somehow works. The harmonics of 3. And like Tesla said, if you understand the logic or harmony of 3, 6, and 9, you understand the universe or something. Ever since then I've been seeing these numbers everywhere, it's very annoying. But he's definitely onto something, especially like in music, working in triplets often does something really cool. So that's a thing. So we shall name this episode The Kraken. That's the only inspiration I have right now. I really don't know what I want to talk about. I'm using my red Sonias, girls, because I need some girl power, or some power in general. See, that was already misogynistic or sexist. Let's see where this goes. So the subject is the Kraken. I have no idea what messages will come out. I hope they will be brief and short and funny and sweet and to the point. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, we're already started. Aries, how are you doing? God, this light is bright for me tonight. Okay, so you get 3 cards. That's good. So we have your strength. Strength? Oh, fucking strength card. This has been my theme too long. Strength. Don't even want to talk about it. I'm just not going to talk. I'm just going to name the cards and then we'll move on. Page of Pentacles and the 7 of Swords. I hate these cards. So Aries, what do we want to talk about, eh? 8-7. This is so for me. That's my birth year. I'm an Aries, so I mean, like, I'm just making it all about me now. Okay, so Aries, you are tired the same way I am. You are kind of very weary, like here. This is how we're feeling. Passing the tests of strength. You are passing the test, you're just very tired right now. And also, I think being asked to start again. Okay, one more card, because this is just, okay. Okay, so, this is the message. See, there's this, the challenge is you're very tired, because you have been going through tests and things have been not so easy for you, and I think you have been going through it alone. So you're very tired, and also you're being asked maybe to start again. I just got fired, so relatable. And I did not feel so bad about it. I mean, there is the whole insulting thing of them. It was a trial period, right? So they did not extend the contract. Because I got sick a couple of times during times of Corona. And also because I didn't want to lunch with other people. But I don't like doing that. So anyways, I feel it's really for the best. I was so relieved when they told me. It's like the universe did my dirty work for me, in a way. Yeah, I still have feelings about it, but anyways, same thing for me, being asked to go into this Page of Pentacles mode again, start over again, these things. It's kind of hard. However, what is our advice here? The cards are saying kind of, or I'm saying, no. We need to react differently now, okay? So we are very tired and we're kind of sick of it and we don't really want to put in these baby steps or these kind of works right now, right? So we don't do it. We're gonna react differently now to the situation than we've ever done before, and we're going to actually, for the first time, start using this immense strength we have and this confidence we have built. I feel like there's gonna be a sort of tower moment, a situation, and it's going to really, for the first time, I think you really are going to feel the strength and the confidence and that you've built this all this time. You're going to really own it. It's going to carry you a bit, and you're going to react differently. I don't think you have to choose it. I think it's just, you're just going to feel it, like me. You know, you kind of get this douchey conversation about not extending your contract, which is a problem, right? But I just didn't care. I was like, okay, yeah, saw that coming, and also good, because I really wasn't, I mean, my reaction was very unemotional or emotionally very stable, and really looking at the positive, and also for the first time feeling this faith and this trust in myself, in the world, that things are going to work out okay. And I think that's what you are being called. I think that's why you're so tired, because you've been tested, you've been tested, you've been tested, you've been going around in loops until it's like Groundhog's Day, until you finally stop reacting the same way and finally say like, hey, you know what, I'm not gonna let this bother me anymore, and just trust that things work out, and finally focus on what I should be focusing on instead of panicking again, running around, going around in the same loop again, right? Instead of starting over, working hard, being super tired, starting over, working hard, failing, having to deal with it again. No, you're gonna exit that loop, and for like you're gonna be like this girl, like, no, I'm good, like really, I got this. It's a tower moment that you are going to receive in a very good way, and that's kind of the change, and that's kind of the growth, and that's kind of also what you had to do. It's gonna be really easy. It's gonna be really easy, like just you reacting, by you not caring, everything's gonna fall into place without you having to do anything, right? You're gonna exit this loop. So actually these are really good cards. So Aries, we're doing really well, yeah. Good for us, good for us. We're gonna put them aside. Okay, thank you Aries. Then we move on to Taurus. 1, 2, 3. Taurus, how are we? Taurus, Taurians. My cat back. Okay, 2 cards, only 2 cards for Taurus. Whew, the Hanged Man in reverse. Or reversed. I feel like you get the Hanged Man a lot. Or you got it in the beginning that I'd start doing this. 6 of Swords. Upside down. Taurus, what is your message? What is your message? Wait, let me see these cards. Very interesting. Okay, Taurus, this is my message to you. I would say you're holding on, you're holding on to somebody, or somebody's holding on to you. Or this idea you can't shake of letting go of a certain relationship. I think you are being pulled into it, or it somehow has your claws in you, and the cards are not saying that you're doing anything wrong. The cards are saying that they're suggesting that you need to really try to accept the situation as is and trying to get into that hanged man position. Right now you're sort of refusing it. It's like you are letting yourself hang into, like she's here, like you're letting yourself sort of hang into these vines or into these things or into the arms of something. And you're not really doing anything like to get out of it. That's all it takes, I feel like, you know, just a little bit of like shaking to get out of this grasp. It's not a big, you're just kind of staying, not consciously, but because you, I think all that's left of saying is for you to just do the mental exercise of like, okay, you know what? Wow, I just burped really badly, so that's for me. What situation is that implying for me? Huh? So, okay, so it's like, okay, yeah. One more card, because what do we got? Take it down there. Yeah, the Eight of Cups. Jesus, you get this, like, you get the same message basically 3 times. So the Hangman, this is cool. This is cool because it's like confirmation. It's like 3 times the same message. The Hangman upside down. Now, normally the Hangman is looking at it from a different perspective, letting yourself be in an uncomfortable situation or in a new situation, right? You're not doing that. You're sticking to the old. You're kind of afraid of change, or you're afraid to let something die, let something go away. 6 of Swords is the same. 6 of Swords is normally letting go. It's the guy on the boat going away. It's upside down. So again, you're not doing, this is upside down. And then we have the 8 of Cups, which is normally considering your emotions, thinking about things, letting things sink in, and that is upside down again. So you're not doing that. So all I can say is, you need to do something about this. And again, not a hard thing. The only thing is sort of the mental step of saying like, okay, it's gone. Let's say somebody, and that's over. It's gone. Let's say I need to give up for a second. It doesn't mean the end forever. It doesn't mean that I have to be right about that. It just means that I'm going to surrender to it. For today, for this week, for this month, I'm just going to surrender to it, okay? It is what it is. I'm not going to pull at it anymore. I'm just going to let it be. And then live your life. Like start planning after that, you know? Like let's say, okay, this person is never coming back. What am I going to do now? Just live your life, okay? And then let it, give it to Jeebus' hands. Okay, you need to let go. You get 3 times the same message, so you are being. No, it's like weird. It's like I wanted to say like the universe is giving you a spanking, but it's not. They're giving you this very simple, clear message over and over again, just because that's all it takes. It's like you are so on the verge of just like doing this step, and all it needs is for you to actively just say it in your mind. It's like, okay, it is what it is, or let's consider it lost, or let's consider it out of my hands. It's out of my hands, and I don't need to wait. Stop waiting there. Stop waiting there. Move forward, because it's only when you take the next step forward, if you start planning over what you want, then the universe can start to move again, okay? So let's say there's somebody you're in love with and you really want them, but they don't want you anymore and you keep waiting. Well, it's time for you to say, okay, right now they don't want me, it is what it is, there's nothing I can do to change about that, okay? I still want the same things, I still have the same desires, I still have the same hopes, but I'm going to move forward now in the ways that I can, okay? I'm going to look where I have control, where I can get good things, where good things are coming to me. I'm going to focus on that. I'm just going to move forward with my life. I'm going to start planning my life, okay? And then trust that these good things are going to come to me. But it's kind of like you're staying at that one closed door where it's not going to come. Or, no, it's more like, this is more like a relationship, I think, where you had really high hopes, or there was something really intense or strong there. And I think it's a bit of like it feels a bit dark to let it go, probably, because it's you know, you get these thoughts of like, if that wasn't it, what then? And you don't really see how you can get the same again, which is what you kind of just have to surrender to. I feel a bit lost in this, I feel a bit hopeless. That's fine, but accept that, okay? Get in that boat. You don't have to feel good about it, you just have to get in the boat. That's the cool thing about the boat. It moves on its own when you get into it, okay? I often fall asleep dreaming I'm on a spaceship traveling to a cool planet. If that helps anybody, okay? Thank you, Taurus, that was your message. Moving on to Gemini. Gemini, how are you? Let's see what we can do. Oh, that was weird. 1, 2, 3, Gemini. You have to say the number there, right? Frazzled. What is the message? So I have the 6 of Wands. Victory. And also, because I had a talk with these cards yesterday. Also, like, moving forward with it. It's like she has the victory, she's won the thing, but she's also packed her horse and moving on. She's looking back from the mountain or something, but she's moving on. I feel it's a bit of a card of movement. Then we have the Magician reversed. Now, reversed, I think it implies here that you are just not planning right now. I think you need to take some steps forward, which you're not doing. Maybe? I think so, yeah. I think because it's the same with the 6 of Wands, that vibe I get. It's like, you have victory, it's kind of like, or you're doing good, something is gonna pay off, but you just need to move on. It's very strange here. Because I don't think, it's not about you having not done the work or not doing anything or not thinking, like it's not about being lazy or about procrastinating at all. It's more like having trouble finding, I think, the strength or the courage to move forward, or just not feeling it right now. You're not feeling it. I think that's why the Magician is in reverse. You're not feeling it. You're not really in this manifesting energy of like, oh, I want this, bring it to me. You're not feeling it. But the cards aren't telling you this. Like, just look at this picture where you're like, okay, this is just where you're at. It's good. You're like leveling up and shit, and you're moving on to something better. But this is just kind of the phase where you're in. You're not in the... You haven't arrived. You're kind of... you're taking your winnings and moving on to the next phase. Or you're taking what you... Yeah, it's like you have the victory and now you're moving on to the next phase. You need to move on, kind of. And it's the card is also saying like, it's not about manifesting right now. It's more about... Yeah, a bit time, I think. Time and just taking one step in front of the other, and don't be too concerned with feeling it right now. Just keep moving forward. That's what I would say. I'm going to take one more card for you. The 9 of Wands. Yeah, I got the 9 of Wands reversed, which is about not holding on. Not holding on. Not holding on. I got a deep dark energy here. Wait, one more card here. 2 of Cups. Ooh. Oh, no. Okay, this is positive. Okay, so all I said was true, and these cards actually are somebody else. So this 9 of Wands and this 2 of Cups, I'm reading them upright, but about somebody else. So the good thing is, keep moving forward, and you are attracting some genuine love. You are attracting somebody who's going to invest in you, or people who want to invest in you, and you are also finally attracting people who are going to hang in there, you can support on and you can count on, okay? That's the next level for you. better people around you, better support, and you're moving into that direction. You're attracting this. So just hold on. Just yes, and keep the faith for yourself. I think you're not feeling it. You've been alone a bit. You're not having this manifesting energy, and that's okay. You're going to get support, and that's going to help you. Support is on the way. Love is on the way. Love is on the way. Wings of angels. I know it's true. Good. Thank you, Gemini. Then moving on to Cancers. Is that correct? I think so. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 4. So, Cancers, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why not, right? So, 4 of Pentacles. Page of Cups. On the side with the lining. Better? No. Page of Cups. The Page of Swords. They're both upside down. 2 pages upside down. 4 of Pentacles and the 3 of Wands. Okie dokie. Very interesting, very interesting. So Cancers, message is actually pretty simple here because we have this 4 of Pentacles and this 3 of Wands. And then we have these 2 pages upside down, which is sort of telling me, and the cards are trying to tell you, hey, you are not a naive little boy or girl anymore that's not in control of their emotions. Well, I just got a weird message about a black screen. Like something about if I have problems with a black screen on my TV. That's weird. Okay, no idea what that means. Anyways, you're not this naive little boy or girl anymore. You are in control of your emotions. This is not your first time around the block. You have a lot of experience. You don't feel the need to prove yourself anymore. You don't feel the need to be over generous anymore. You have no need to overgive anymore. You have nothing to prove. You know your worth. That's it. That's the message here. It's just like telling me, guard your shit. Okay? You have maybe a beautiful home. Maybe you have made a beautiful body. Maybe you have some nice things. That's yours, okay? Like, guard that. Don't be naive anymore. Don't let... It's okay, like, try to believe in the positivity of humans, bro, it sounds so bad. Okay, try to believe in the good of people, but trust your instincts, trust your experience, just blindly. Don't think you have to be this, you have to keep being this, how do I say this, like this sucker almost? Like, I think that's where your problem is. I think you have problems stepping into power or actually having that power, and I think it's mostly, okay, Cancers, this is where the crux is. This is, you have a block about this because you're afraid that doing this leads to loneliness. Like you having very big ambitions, or it's not being greedy, it's sort of like enjoying having money or enjoying being prosperous, or on the opposite, not giving to other people, that's a bad thing, you know? It's about with your relationships, and I think you just need to stop doing that because stop letting other people take advantage of you just because you're afraid that they won't like you or that you're being unkind. And the trick to this is, whenever you have any intentions of doing anything or any thought, and the motivation is guilt in any way, shape, or form, then it's not a good place it's not a good thing to do. So if you say like, oh, should I do this should I do this for another person? Do you want to do it out of genuine love and excitement because you want to do that for another person, or are you doing it because you kind of feel guilty not doing anything? See what I mean? So if it's out of guilt, then that's your answer. Don't do it. Don't give anybody your pity anymore, because you know by now that they're sure as hell not going to give it to you, okay? Actually, you need to be a little bit more narcissistic, okay? Cancers, become a little bit more narcissistic. Learn from your enemy, let the dark side out. Stop being, you are wise now, use it, okay? And don't feel bad about it, okay? Learn to say no, learn to be assertive, learn to have high ambitions, learn to love yourself, do everything for yourself, and then that's okay, okay? And that actually will give you a better response from the outside world. See? Good. Thank you, Cancers. Moving on to Lions. Lions. And then all the cards fell on the floor. Okay, I've got these two cards. They're lying here on top of each other. That's very interesting. So we have this Queen of Cups and the Lovers. Okay, yeah, I know exactly what this is. The Queen of Cups reversed. And then we have the Lovers. The pictures are not that super important here. This is more for me, kind of, because I got this message before. And I think the story was then, Lions, that wait, let me think. Then it was like you stopped being this overly sensitive person, or you are stopping like this is not a disadvantage anymore, okay? You're very sensitive, or you wear your heart on your sleeve, or you felt like you had to maybe stand up for your emotions a lot, or defend your emotions a lot. Something about there being vulnerable a little bit in that role, and that is changing, okay? You're finally, it's like you know who you are now. You're like you stopped being a reflection of other people, or trying to figure out who you are through other people, or you're stopping trying to understand other people, trying to figure out what they want to hear, what you think they're hearing from you. I think you're understanding also that you see certain things in other people, you see certain emotions, you see them lie, but they don't see that with you, okay? I think you're finally understanding that is your strength. And I think you also really are becoming sure of what your values are, what you want, what you stand for, who you are, who you like, who you don't like. And I think you're becoming very secure in that, which means you don't have to put any more effort into people that you know aren't good for you. You're going to listen to your instinct more. You're not going to wear your heart on your sleeve so much anymore. Not being closed or cold, but just not so... it's just not going to drain you as much anymore, because you don't need to anymore. I think you know enough now. Let's say, for instance, that when you meet somebody where in the past maybe you would have given that person a lot of chances, or you would have put in a lot of energy to try to understand that person, help them understand you. Whereas now you're maybe going to, from the very first second, realize, actually, no, I'm not feeling it, so I don't need this. And you're feeling confident in that. And I think also you know what you want, and you know who you are, and you don't need to defend that anymore. If people don't see it, if people don't understand it, that's fine. They're lost. Not your problem anymore. Because I think you know that's a battle you can't win. And that's something I just recently had to learn again. It's like where I realized that if people are in a way insecure or feel small, there's nothing that I can do, there's no amount of love I can give to really change that. And the problem is they can kind of understand me rationally, but emotionally they will still be, it's like their reality is different than mine. And I can't just tell another person like, hey, I think of you so highly, so just trust me on that. I can't change that in other people, so there's nothing I can do to make certain people see my worth, because they can't see their own worth. They just can't see their own worth. So there's no amount of love or tricks you can do to make them see your worth. So if you're in a relationship with somebody that has these confidence issues, realize that you know, if you're having these bad feelings or feel like they're making you feel bad or they're dragging you down, that's because you kind of have to coexist in their world where they are less and therefore you are less. You know what I mean? Because let's say if I feel actually really ugly and that's how I perceive the world, then my partner can't be super hot because that's just too unreasonable for me. So I kind of have to, it's like you are going to pull other people down. You're going to say like, oh, but that's not so great or that's not so great. It's like you're going to look for negative things about them to devalue them so you can feel safer, right? Any case, you're learning not to put energy in those people anymore and like all of these kinds of things. That's very, very nice, very good. Very difficult lessons. So talk to somebody about this. It's not easy, especially because it usually involves you having to really accept your own value, and that's where then you have the same problem. Because usually when you're in a relationship with somebody, and let's say you're the confident one and the other person has the issues, well, think again, they're mirroring this in you, okay? So the best thing for the relationship, for yourself, for the other person, is for you to ask like, okay, they're having these insecurity issues, but I am too. Where am I having these issues? And how am I still not seeing the value that I have? And where is that damaging me? Okay? Ugh. That's homework. Ugh. Okay. Good luck. Then we move on to Virgos. Am I recording this? Yes, okay, perfect. 1, 2, 3, Virgos. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Ooh, no. Virgo, this is good. You get the Ace of Pentacles, so the monies. You have the Hermit, but I love this card. She's looking so good in this. I actually thought of something else. I thought of like the Sun or something even. I don't know. It gave me such a good feeling, like not a Hermit feeling. I don't know. Ooh, it's escaping me. And then we have the World. The World card. Look at here. Oh yeah, it's with that hand. This is such a weird card to me. It's like the World is this hand grabbing her. That's cool. So actually it's cool because I have this Hermit card, which is beautiful, and then I have these two kind of darker cards around it. Both positive cards. Very positive cards. The Ace of Pentacles and the World. That is très positive, eh? Oh, I need a break after this one. So, Ace of Pentacles, the Hermit, the World. I need more, like, look at this Hermit card again, because something clicked there, and now I'm losing it. Okay, kind of, I think this is giving you the reassurance. Let's wait till it drops here, then I can start talking. I don't know, I just need to get some time here to think. I'm missing something. I don't know what it is. I'm missing something. Okay, let's look at these cards again. It's a completion. It's a completion. Okay, this is all I can say, kind of. Like, these cards are just confirming or kind of telling the story about somebody who really found themselves, who really came out of a dark period very victoriously. That's why this card feels so good. It's like the Hermit, but it's kind of like she's just really in her element. She really found herself. So I think you really found yourself. And I think in this way, you're kind of finding a new financial beginning. You're finding a new, there are opportunities suddenly, or there are, you're finding that you are thinking a lot more laterally suddenly than ever before, okay? So I think a new route, a new opportunity, some things are popping up, okay? And I think you're just playing with new ideas that suddenly seem way more in reach than ever before. And that is why this card is here, the World. It's like the world is opening up to you, and you found this by going inside. It's like either mentally, like kind of closing off from the world, or either really having to stay inside. it's done wonders for you. It's like you are coming out with a whole new base plan and a whole new outlook on things. It's like the world has changed and you have changed, and yeah, and it feels so good. It's like you are. It's like it's still hidden, you know, like it's still not seeable, but like you know that it's gonna be good. And when she takes that, it's like here, when she takes that cape off, you know she's gonna be sexy as hell, okay? And that's kind of where you are. You're still like cloaked, you're still like putting the last threads together, but when it's done, it's gonna be good, okay? You're going from the 9 to the 10, completion. Yes, it's gonna be big, or it's just gonna be good. There's a lot. Something is boiling in you, and it's gonna be huge. And I think you feel it. You're changing. Okay, that's enough compliments for you. It's like really just giving you compliments here, saying that you did an amazing job, that something is coming together, and you've got some. You've discovered some things that are gonna bring big rewards. Big rewards. Very good. Yeah. Okay, I need a break. So, bye. Okay, I'm back from my break. Libras. Moving on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blah blah blah. Hard. Looks sloppy, but it's not. It's my way. Okay, so you're the winners of this week, because before I took out the deck, this card fell out, the Wheel of Fortune, which is also one of the first cards I pulled from this deck, so it has some personal story with me. A very good omen. It's a very good omen. Because before, for me the message was always like, look who's guarding this Wheel of Fortune. Somebody's standing in front of it. This lady is blocking the fortune, but we don't like that. Nightmares, 9 of Swords. Wait, and then we have the Devil reversed. Yeah, see? Libras, okay. I think... I think you broke off a connection with somebody, or you like, I'm having trouble with this 9 of Swords card. Okay, I think something was really holding you down. Something was really keeping you up at night. Something was really disturbing you. It was like something in the shadows that was no. It's more like you kept running into problems, and it was really affecting you mentally. Something was really affecting you mentally, and it seemed like a lot of energy you put into something, or a lot of energy was wasted, okay? And you kept trying to get to your fortune, you kept trying to make the odds better for you, but that somehow you kept being pulled down, okay? And it gave you a lot of anxiety. I felt you were like in a heavy state of anxiety. However, I think you finally either broke the connection or broke off whatever was keeping you stuck. And I feel very called to call the person on this, okay? So I think you finally broke something off, and I think you are finally taking back the power in something. Whatever it is, you're unstuck now. So this Devil is whatever that keeps you stuck. Could be an addiction, could be a relationship that is dependent, or where you're being used or abused. That's over, okay? So I think you finally stopped the block, and I think a lot of this anxiety and a lot of these nightmares can come to an end. So I think this block to your fortune is gone. That's the message. This card wants to come out, the Empress upside down. Yeah, so the cards are telling you right now, yes, you have the right idea, yes, you did make the right moves, and yes, unfortunately, these relationships can have this effect on us. And the Empress reversed is kind of calling on you to like keep doing what you're doing, keep closing off, keep protecting yourself. Just ignore everybody else for a moment. Don't react, don't respond. Block your energy in, okay? Take back your power. Just say that out loud. I call back all my power from this lifetime and all the previous lifetimes. I call back all the power I may have given to people, or anyways, just say that out loud, call that back, and then go like close shop, you know, like you focus on yourself and your own energy in your own home and your own well-being for now, okay? Don't care about anybody else. Keep doing that. That was the right call, and that's still what you have to be doing. And yes, this will help you get where you need to be going. Okay, because it's actually been this energy balance that has been off, or it's more like you were locked out of a certain thing because subconsciously you were probably telling yourself like, that person can't come with us, or we can't move into that situation if this is still going on, because that's going to cost us heavily in the end. Okay, that was it, Libra. Sorry, I was clear enough. It's a heavy message, but keep doing you, boo. Okay. Then, Scorpios, finally back on track with the normal order here. 2, 3 Scorpios. Anyway. Shuffling more. So with the 7 of Wands, holding on, staying true, having to defend yourself, or now we have the 10 of Cups. So. Okay, not a happy family. Normally 10 of Cups is the happy family. It's like not the satisfaction, but the long-term bliss, the long-term happiness, sort of, right? 10 of Cups, it's upside down. One more card. This is the 7 of Wands is baffling me, Scorpios. Oh. For the 7 of Wands, the Hierophant. Okay, Scorpios, this is my message to you. Look, you are holding on into something. You are really defending something. You keep putting a lot of... You keep doing it the old way. You keep doing it the classic way. You keep doing it the way that you think things are just done. This could be in a relationship. This could be business-wise. This could be any way. But you're in one way, you are really being stubborn, okay? The Hierophant is normally like the classic way, the traditional way, and you really keep defending this, or you really keep striving for something that has to go, okay? Because it's not leading you to your happiness. You keep not finding this happy picture that you want, and this is available to you. This is available to you, but the problem is you are being very stubborn in the way it has to be or the way it has to come. And the problem is not that the ideas that you have are wrong. That's not the problem. The problem is that some of these ideas you have not a good foundation, and that's where you go wrong. There are a couple of moral or philosophical standpoints you have. Let's say a relationship. Let's say a monogamous relationship. Let's say this is an example, right? You keep defending the classical way of a monogamous relationship of this is how two people meet, this is how they date, this is how then they get married and they're forever for each other, something like that, you know? You keep having this very classical idea and it's just not getting you where you want. It's just not leading you to your happiness. Not because this picture you have is wrong, but I think because, first of all, I think you are not very correct about what you think is your happiness. I think what you think it should be is not what you actually want it to be, and you keep focusing on what you think it should be. And you all you need to do is kind of ask yourself, like, hey, okay, I think it should be this way, like a monogamous relationship. Why? That's where it is. Why? What are my arguments that I believe in this, and why do I keep defending this? Or let's say it's a job position where you think working this way or doing something in a certain way is the right way, or it's the way that everybody does it, so this is the way it has to be done, but it's just not giving you the income you need. So, okay, this is for myself. Why do you keep defending it? Oh, fuck yeah, I was burping. It's for me and my job. Shit. So I think I need to follow this traditional job route. That's my example. I keep defending that. I keep trying to mix both worlds, keep doing my own thing while keep having a normal job, because I think this is the way, that way. But it's just not making me happy, and it's just not leading me to my ultimate fulfillment. So it's kind of like being stubborn in this way, or refusing to see that there's another way and that actually would make you a lot happier. Or, and my example, it's more like I want to see it, I just don't see the way forward in that. And I think maybe it's the same for you, in whatever which way you keep doing it the classical way, because you kind of don't see the other way yet. But I think it starts with questioning in yourself, why do I think this is the right way? So let's say for me, I would say, I think the right way of doing this job this way is because I want to stay connected in the field. Like, I don't want to go too far from like, let's say, standard medical practice, because I want to still, for a long time I felt like I still needed this training, so I didn't want to miss out on that. I still wanted to experience, and also for myself, because I don't see another way of having financial gains, I think, yeah, that's what I have to do, or that's my best option. And also, there was one that I just slipped away that actually was important. I still kind of want to prove to myself that I can do it, the way everybody else does it, because I always felt lacking in that, and I always wanted to show, like, hey, it's not because I can't work well with the normal structure, or I'm not that punctual, or this, that doesn't mean that I'm bad at my job, or I can do it, or I can be normal, something like that. That's the proof. That's why, like, there are good reasons that I'm doing is that because I think it will lead me to my goal, which is not this job, by the way, so it is a means to an end, but there are reasons why I'm doing it that are not good, that will lead to my detriment, because if I keep doing it, I keep also reinforcing the idea that I have to keep proving it. And like, you can guess it, I keep running into situations where I keep failing in this, because it's like, I'm never going to prove it, because that's like proving to myself that I can be different than myself, that I can be somebody else, which is never gonna work, but I still keep doing you the same. So anyways, that was Scorpio. Hope it helps. See you later. Bye, Scorpio. Then we have Sagittarius. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where can we tell? Oh, that was brutal. The Chariot. Okay. Amazing card here, which is horse. You're going for it. You're going for something. Chariot. Movement. Go time. It's go time. It's go time. Make room. It's go time. Come on, what else can you tell me for Sagittarius? Does the Sagittarius want to go? That's not something new. Remember the Two of Wands, which usually also means go time, right? It's a special card here. Wow, that face. It's upside down. Interesting. Let me look at that. Okay. Fear. Wait, and then this card. The Five of Swords, which is defeat. I mean, which is the classical state. It doesn't mean that. I wanted to say, I don't mean. That doesn't mean that it has to mean that. Damn it. Mean that in here, but I think it does. Defeat, and also subjects, like normally, just focus on this face. Normally Two of Wands is going for it, or defending something, or, feeling the passion and going for it, you know, making a passionate decision about something. With Two of Swords is kind of like more of a mental, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go into it. Anyway, I saw this face, and then I kind of saw like, oh, it kind of feels like with this chariot, because she's jumping off this cliff with this horse, like, it kind of looks like this horse is not going to fall very well. I think you are running away from something, or you are making a hasty move out of fear, out of overly defensive stance instead of the good reasons. It's like, yeah, you're running away. You're running away. But why? Why is this message here? Why is this saying this? The Ten of Swords. Okay, no, look at the picture, It's time for you to face up to something. Face up to the music. It's time, stop running away from something, stop having these flee reactions and face up to the music, or face up to a conflict, or face up to a defeat, face up that something didn't work out, and don't make an irrational move. I feel like right now you're making a move, or you keep avoiding something, or you're making fast moves out of fear instead of out of passion, or out of drive, or out of wanting to get something. You're trying to get away from something. So it's time for you to face up to something, to stop this running, stop this. And it's really a warning, because be careful, like you're moving too fast could really trip you up and like stumble that horse. Yeah, that's your message. Sorry was so positive. If you want help about this, you can always contact me or DM me on Instagram. I like doing personal readings. I don't charge for it for now. I just like doing it out of practice. So if you want more info, I got it, yo. Thank you. Then we go on. Sorry, that was really cool. Then we go on to Capricorn. 1, 2, 3, Capricorn. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Capricorn. What do we got? Whoa. So many. No, 2 cards. Anticlimax. Ooh, we have the 2 most romantic cards in the deck, Capricorn. What is going on? We have this 9 of Cups and the 7 of Pentacles. So I would say that you are feeling very passionate about somebody from your past, or you are looking at the past in a different way. You're kind of reevaluating something or somebody. I feel like it's somebody. You're looking back and you're kind of seeing somebody and you're saying, ooh, actually, I think I missed something there. I need to go back. Maybe. That's why this 9 of Cups here is very romantic. It's like she's facing the snow and the cold, and it's like... This is the most romantic card in the whole like tarot deck, right? The 9 of Cups. It's like our emotional guy, but then a knight. So you can imagine. Yeah. You're just looking at the past, but then what is the advice about that? Because the 7 of Pentacles, here's a bit of a sad card, right? It's a bit bittersweet the way she looks back. Normally 7 of Pentacles upright, you would say it's looking at what you made, looking what has grown. But here, especially with these poppies, because upside down you would say like, okay, it's looking at what you lost. It's like you're focusing on what has been lost, or that it's not coming back. But it's up right here. But then like with these poppies, that implies death, that implies something has passed, but she's looking back. She's looking back here as well. Okay, one more card. 2 of Pentacles. Okay, reversed. Okay, so Capricorn, I think what I'm getting is that you are looking back, so that whole story I just told you, and it's kind of like you noticed that for a long time you were so focused on yourself, not in a bad way, it's not a bad way, but you kind of were running a one-man show here. And it's like this is, I think this trouble you still have. I think it's looking back, and I think you are seeing that you're looking at a situation differently, or maybe like you're doubting, should I go back for that, or you want to go back for that, but I think you don't know yet if you can juggle these 2 things, if maybe you can juggle your career and a love situation. I think that's where your hesitancy lies, and I think that's why maybe you were closed off for from this. And I think that's why you are hesitant now. But I think you're really feeling these emotions come up. You're looking back and you're like, did I make the wrong decision, or should I try for that? Should I go for that person? That's a bit where you are at. One more card to complete this. Ooh, the moon. Aha. That made things way more complicated. The moon, what does that mean? So you're looking back. Okay, so this is what's happening more. I think you are thinking there are all these emotions coming up, and I think you are looking at more like lust. I think you're really looking, I think you are trying to park it more like this. You're looking back and you're thinking like, ooh, actually that person or that thing was really valuable or hot, or I missed out on that. You're kind of trying to make it more sexual maybe, or think it's lust. But what's actually going on is you are really being pushed to look at this. You are getting synchronicities, you are getting signs, and you are really there, like your higher team or higher self or your subconscious, whatever, is pushing you to look at this. So there's more going on than you want to admit. Yeah. And also, I think you're being pushed in general by yourself to stop doing this solo act. So there is more going on, and you are not doing yourself a service of thinking, oh, these are only sex thoughts, or these are only desires that's normal to have. I'm probably just lonely. I shouldn't look at it. No, you really are getting these hints and these signals for romance and to look back. So don't just shrug it off, because the moon means it's something more is going on, and you are actually like there's workings behind the scenes. So don't just think it's just this or that and then push it aside, because that will not help you right now. Okay, thank you, Capricorn. Then we move on to the Aquarius Waterman. Okay, that was easy. Let's see what else we got. We got 9 of Pentacles reversed. So that means you are... It's not so good. The King of Cups reversed. That's also not good. And the 8 of Pentacles. It's 9 of Pentacles. This is okay. So, what is this card? You know, 9 of Pentacles normally is the card for you feeling yourself, kind of doing it on your own, feeling good on your own, shining, being independent woman. Right? Look, she's like slaying all these people. She's doing it alone. The alone part is not so important here, but the independent part is the feeling like that. Anyways, it's upside down, but then the last card I got is this 8 of Pentacles, which means that you are kind of like from the 8 to the 9, you're in the between phase. So you're working at something. I think you're in a not so pleasant period right now, and you're kind of doing maybe the grind, or you're having to keep working on something, and you're just not feeling that accomplished or successful right now, okay? So you're not feeling the success, but you are in the working. But this is kind of saying, look, you are in the pre-phase of this. So this is not in vain. So you are getting there. But then this King of Cups in the middle. This is the King of Cups card here. It's upside down. Okay, guys, look, a part of the problem of you not getting to that 9 stage and staying in that 8 stage where it feels like you have to keep working, you have to keep proving yourself, it's never enough. A reason why you keep staying in that stage is because some emotions are blocked. It's like you're not allowing yourself to feel this good. You're not allowed. Like it's like you're her and somebody is holding this knife on your throat. It's like this is kind of a Cinderella story, you know, like she does all the work and then you would say it's like, oh, she's gonna get the reward or the praise. No, they make you feel bad about it. So somebody or somebody from your past or like your situation has really trained you to keep being super critical about yourself, keep being over perfectionist, that don't think you're all that or something, or who do you think you are, or don't think you've got it made, or oh, you got some rewards. Well, it's probably going to get harder soon, so don't think too much of yourself, or don't start crying victory too fast. Okay, so it's like somebody, like you're blocked from actually experiencing this success or experiencing the well-being of or just like feeling good about what you've done, even if it doesn't make you the most money, even if it's not the best thing yet, even if it's not perfect, even if it's not successful, or even if it's not productive at all, you're still allowed to feel good about it. But you have this internal block, like the moment you really want to feel good about something, or you want to just feel yourself and just feel good about it, it's like this internal voice comes up that kind of tries to shut that down, or tries to, and you have trouble seeing what voice is right. Okay, so I think just being aware of this is going to start a chain reaction that is going to be very beneficial for you. Okay, just being aware of like, oh, hold up, actually, I was trained not to enjoy myself, or not to feel good about myself, or not to take pride, or not to celebrate my accomplishments, or not to feel good about it. So that's wrong. That something's going, like I'm being blocked into this. And so like really start examining when these thoughts come up, or when you, and also really try to be with, like I have to do this, and it's not easy. So let's say you do something that I really have to go back a lot and say like, actually, like objectively looking, I did a really good thing there. I should be happy with that. I don't feel happy about it. I'm not feeling accomplished about it, but objectively I should be. So I'm really almost calling myself to do it. It's like, hey, actually I did a really good thing there. I'm doing really well. I'm gonna celebrate. I'm not feeling it. I'm going to celebrate because that's what I deserve. Period. Even if it's just, I finished the work week. I didn't even I wasn't even on time the whole week, or I didn't even do that well, and I kind of was super lazy, but I finished the week and I'm doing a good job and I'm doing it and I'm hanging in there. I deserve to celebrate that because it was hard for me. You know what I mean? You need to retrain yourself, because a big part of this block is internal. It's like something you train, it's a reflex. It's like this is going on internally. Okay? So I hope that helps. I think just becoming aware of it really does start the chain reaction of improving it. So don't worry. And it's really like when you feel like right now you're in this gray area of nothing seems to be feeling right, and you're not seems to be having anything to feel good about. Really just right now make a small list of 3 or 4 or 5 things that actually in the last month or the last week you did really well, and that went really well, or you did really good, and celebrate that, period. Even if you feel like shit, just say like, you know what? I deserve some celebration. I am working hard. I'm trying hard. Period. Retrain that. Okay, then we have the last. Oh, yes, I know it. I'm listening. 1, 2, 3 fishes, Pisces. Last but not least. Okay. 5 of Wands and 4 of Wands. Those are 9 Wands. 5 of Wands and 4 of Wands. My fishes. I felt so tired there for a second. I didn't want to read. I was like, this sounds complicated. Especially because I get the 5 and 4 of the Wands. Yeah, okay, so it's very like you're taking a step back from some conflict and argument. Okay, no, okay, I want to say something with Pisces. Pisces, okay, actually this is kind of, I think, what is happening. I think relationship-wise, you have maybe a good relationship or somebody you like, or maybe in work or whatever, that is going well, but it's kind of like you're having a communication problem with somebody and you keep running into these It's not bad, it's not even fighting, it's not even argument, it's like discussions. You keep having discussions and you keep almost like having an uncomfortable feeling about it and keep wondering like, why do we keep running into this problem? A bit, something like that. I got this reading from somebody else, so that's why it's really like clicking in this way. So I'm just passing it on. And I think you're kind of growing in, you know, you're kind of taking a step back from that, and instead of even the fact that you're just noticing it, like, I keep running into these stupid discussions for no reason, and it kind of feels off. Like, why is that happening? That's already a very emotionally mature response to have, instead of becoming hurt or irritated, or instead of thinking this is not working, I don't think this is going to work between us. You're kind of just taking a sober look at it and saying like, why do we keep running into these problems? Because we shouldn't be, okay? And that's where your growth lies. It's kind of like a maturing in this way. It's just taking a step back from the conflicts, taking a step back from like just looking like why, and kind of letting it go. I think, like, let's say you have somebody and you keep running into these discussions. I think you're learning to just not go there. You know, like learning, like seeing also in yourself, like maybe like, why do I feel the need to counter argument that so intensely, or why do I feel the need to make it into such a discussion, or where does it, or why does the other person have to take such a anti-approach all the time, or go be so devil's advocate? And I think that's more of the problem. I think it's you're dealing with somebody who's just a bit clumsy in the way they are saying their emotions. Like they're putting their foot in their mouth and it's coming across a bit more calculated, or a bit more defensive than need be. Okay, one more card to see if we are onto something here. So the Four of Swords, Four of Wands, Four of Swords. Yeah, let it rest. It's kind of like not engaging. But not in a horrible way where you have to like really bite your teeth and say like, okay, I'm not going to react, I'm going to count to 10. No, not at all. More of in a, you're like, you could see where the old you would have picked up the argument, or wanted to be all know-it-all or something, or correct somebody, and just you're going to like leave it and just, you don't feel the need anymore to go into these arguments, and you kind of are opening up a whole new way of communicating, because I think you are going to learn how this communication can grow between two people when you just take a step back a bit, when you just sort of focus on, you know what I know, and I know what I stand for, and I don't need to be constantly defending that or be constantly correcting other people, or if somebody reacts a bit harshly or a bit devil's advocate, that's fine. I can take that. I don't need to prove them wrong, prove them right, whatever. Like, you can kind of let it go, let it rest, and you're becoming a very grown-up little fish. I still said little, so sorry. Not yet. See you next time. Bye. Bye.